Hi, good evening everybody. I'm Raphael and I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I'm 30 years old. The first time I ever either drank or smoked any kind of mind-altering substance, I believe I was in, it was the summer right before I started 8th grade. I think that's the first time I ever tried marijuana. There's a good chance prior to that, when I was even younger, maybe I had my first taste of alcohol. Not all through high school, but it progressed from freshman year to sophomore, junior, and senior. I would, like on the weekends, drink or smoke, and then it would be on the way to school, in school, after school, all the time. So you could tell, like, if you look at my grades, you could tell the progression. But I still had decent grades. I got a scholarship. I went to a good college. I was in a good high school. I was good in math and a lot of other subjects. So in the beginning, it would mostly be alcohol. And then I found my way into marijuana. And then in high school, I was part of that generation where prescription drugs were a big thing. I was in that generation where we were doing a lot of prescription painkillers and like benzodiazepines, Xanax, Klonopin, stuff like that. That was my generation. I remember one day I got 5 Xanax footballs. Those are the 0.5 milligrams. I took 5 of them. I took 5 of them right away because I didn't know how they work. I didn't feel them right away. But when they hit me. Let me tell you, like I was walking around. We were in school, in high school. We were switching classes. I had a few of my boys. They saw me, they caught me right before I was gonna fall down the stairs. I would have hit the fucking stairs and boom, that would have been it. But they caught me and they carried me, right? They brought me down to the nurse's office. Nurse is like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm grabbing my head and telling her, I'm grabbing my head, I'm like this. I'm like, "Oh, my stomach hurts," That's how fucked up I was, right? So she had me down for a little bit, like rest and shit. I didn't, she didn't know what it was or she didn't say nothing. But I missed 2 periods before I got a no and went back to my classes and shit. And that was bad, That was the beginning of that was in 2005, right? So I was a sophomore, right? So in high school every day I was progressed. I was smoking and drinking. I would cut class, not even that. I was doing shit and I was selling shit. I was selling weed to kids. I was selling pills. At the end of every week, Friday, I would take orders from kids. I would have fake IDs, so I would go off campus and I'd go to the liquor store and get, whatever kids want to fill their orders. If they wanted a bottle of whatever booze, if it was $20, $30, $40, I charged them double. So I was always making money every week. I was selling booze, selling weed, selling pills, selling weapons and shit. And I went to a pretty prestigious high school, you know what I mean? So a lot of these kids had money and shit, right? So after high school, I graduated. That summer I went nuts, you know what I mean? Right before college, I went nuts. I was working, I was getting high every day. It was bad, man. It was so bad, So I went to college on a scholarship. I lost my scholarship because I spent more time in the bar than class. But even, I still had good grades, and my attendance just took me out the game. I had to withdraw, and I lost my scholarship and everything. So that was fucked up. Sometimes I tell my parents I'd be going to school, and I wouldn't be. I'd be in the city. I went to school in Manhattan, but I would be by the waterfront, just getting high, passing out and shit, going places I shouldn't have been going, whatever. I was fucking my life up, So I ended up not finishing CUNY Baruch's, one of the top business schools in the city, in the area actually, East 25th and Lexington Ave. After they asked me to withdraw, I stayed home for a year, which pissed off my parents. Spent home for a year, didn't do shit. I don't even remember if I was working or not. If I was working, I was still at Dunkin' Donuts. So I was doing that, whatever. At this time, I got arrested. I was with my buddy. We got pulled over. We had 100 grams of marijuana in the car, 100 grams of bud, right? We got pulled over. It was bad, it's my first time getting charged. something like that, right? Before that, I got charged maybe like I got caught with a blunt one time in my pocket. I didn't even know I had it. And before that, in New York, I got caught with like, you know, jumping the turnstile or hopping on the bus for free, some, you know, small stuff. Like when I got caught with this 100 grams, I was like maybe like 19 years old, 20 years old. I just like, you know, yeah. So I'm thinking like they're gonna send me down the county, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the cell, I'm doing push-ups, I'm getting ready, I'm like ghost boxing, shadow boxing in the cell. The cops are looking at me like this dude's crazy, you know. But they ended up not sending me. They released me in my own reconnaissance. So like I got out, and we had to appear in Superior Court, Elizabeth, New Jersey. When we went to court, right, I ended up taking the rap for the whole thing because like it was my idea. Like I felt bad for my boy, you know. And so I took the rap. They hit me with like some 3 years, like, you know. So I did that. But then later, like, he wanted to go join the army, like, you know, 4 years after that, whatever. But like this thing kept popping up, and they wouldn't let him recruit him. They wouldn't enlist him. So like I had to write a letter to the recruitment center stating to them that, you know, the whole thing was my fault, wasn't his. I coerced him and all that shit, you know. So like he spent a year trying to get into the army, and right after I write this letter, sign it, deliver it to them, like a week later, he's recruited, he's enlisted, you know. He goes, does his thing. He goes through basic training, whatever. They take him down. I think it was Georgia or whatever. I don't know. But he thanks to me, he did his thing. He's in the army now, so I'm pretty sure he's happy with that. You know, he got his life on track. As for me, after that 1 year flown around, and like when I got out from like all this shit, all the trouble, you know, I was back home. I went to community college up in Randolph, New Jersey, County College of Morris, a CCM. I went over there. I got my associate's degree in like a year and a half for hospitality management. I also got a couple of certifications in accounting and finance. So you know, I got paperwork. I'm like pretty, you know, I got all this stuff, but I never used it because while I was going to school, I was doing landscaping, construction. Days I was off from classes, and then I was working in a restaurant, working in Italian restaurants. So after I finished college, I had my little degree and all this shit. You know, at this point, I wasn't really like selling shit, but I was still fucking around with stuff. I was doing dope. I was, you know, partying, whatever, you know. But I was working. I was waking up every morning. I didn't have my license at this time. I got my license, my driver's license at 25 years old, right? But like I was working every morning. I was getting up. I was working with this one guy. We were building houses. So I was right-hand man. Like I would like drive the truck, get, you know, supplies, material, lumber, whatever. And I was doing like framing. I was doing demolition. I was doing mostly masonry, concrete. I was doing stuff like that. I was doing like some insulation, shit like that, you know. Just getting paid cash under the table. And then after that, in the evenings during the week and weekends especially, I'd work in a restaurant from like 4 to like 10, 11 when they close, whatever. So I'll be in the pizzeria. I work front of the house. I was doing the oven. I was doing the cash register. I was doing prep work. We didn't do deliveries. Good pizza doesn't get delivered, you know. But I got to meet everybody in town. You know, I got to fix my name. Like people got to meet me. Like I remember you, da da da. So I was doing good. You know, I was working, making money. I paid off all my fines. I was getting my life back on track. But then later, I got offered, I was looking for another job, some better. I got a job in the office. I was working for this company in the office where they do aluminum extrusions, where like basically like any part made out of aluminum or other metals, like, you know, they send you a print, AutoCAD, and like with the design. My job was to take the customer's design, duplicate it on our AutoCAD, you know, do all the dimensions, all the footage, the you know, all that stuff with the caliper, and they send it back to them and keep sending it back and forth until both bosses of the company agree that this is what they want before we put it into production. So that was you know, I never worked with that before. When they asked me, do I know what I'm doing? I'm like, yeah, but I had no idea, but I figured it out. So I did a good job. I was there for about 6-7 months. I was making like five grand a month. It was a great job. But then the pressures got to me because the owner of the company started flipping out on me for no reason. I don't know what he wanted. Like I was doing sales, I was doing AutoCAD, in addition to basic office work, you know. So one day I got fired because like it all started out like he's like, you gotta shave, your pants are too long, bullshit like that. Like for some reason he didn't want me there no more. But I got fired because I walked into work one day. He threw a bunch of envelopes at me. He's like, you didn't put stamps on these. And there's one of the ladies, secretaries behind him, just watching this whole thing go down. He's yelling at me. I keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say nothing, you know. I could tell for a while he wanted me out of the company, but like, I'm listening to him, whatever. He's like, you didn't put your stamps on these, blah, blah, blah. After he got through done yelling with me, one of the secretaries, she says something, and she's like, oh, no, I'm not going to say his name, but like, no, that was my fault. He didn't do that. It was my fault. But still, he got done yelling at me, whatever. And she's watching this whole thing go down, so she knows. But I told the guy, I'm like, listen, thank you for this opportunity. Obviously, it's not going to work out here. Sorry, I packed my shit up, cleaned my desk down, I left. So I got terminated from that job, whatever. So I went back to landscape and construction and at the restaurant. I was still doing that, So while I was doing that, things started getting a little bad, right? My father, he got a motorcycle accident. He lost his leg. So the family, things were tight. It was tough around the house, My mother, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So things were tight, So like, I started drinking more, doing more drugs and shit. And also, I was trying to do music. Like, I had a little home studio. Like, I had a few buddies come over. We record stuff. Like, we wrote our own shit. We got beats off YouTube. I put out a few mixtapes. I got to meet people all over Hillside, Irvington, stuff. Like, while we was doing that, we was staying out of trouble. Everybody in the group, we was working. Then at night, we meet up and, record our shit all over the place. I passed our mixtapes for free all over the place, But that fizzled out because reality sets in. Everybody got bills to pay. We can't be fucking around with this shit. It didn't really go like we planned it. But, so that went, that happened. Then later, I'm still working at the construction and the restaurant. And then I ended up like leaving because like I'm getting old. I can't be working in the restaurant all the time. I gotta find something different. So I found a job online again. It was for an installation company for furniture. So I gave that a shot. Like, I go in for interview. They're like, yeah, you start, coming Friday, bring tools, whatever. First day on the job, I meet up at 5 in the morning at the warehouse. I go with 2 other dudes. We go out to Connecticut, Stamford, Connecticut for a job. If you ever like put together some shit like from IKEA, it's pretty much like that, but like on a more sophisticated level. Like we're doing corporate furniture, like we're doing cubicles, private offices, all kinds of shit. Like, you knock down stuff, you move it, transport it. It's like you're a moving company, but you're doing corporate furniture. I was doing glass. Like if you ever go in offices, the walls made out of glass. Like I was doing that. I was laying the track down, cutting the track, popping in the glass. That was fun. That's what I like to do. So I was with this company for about 4 years before the original company I worked for went bankrupt because I guess they weren't doing their math right or whatever. Like they were paying, like they didn't calculate it right. They're sending all these guys to a job and, they didn't count for overtime. So whatever, they were in a hole. So they ended up selling the company to another company. So the new company that bought us out was actually a real company. They gave us health benefits. I got a raise. I was happy with these guys. I fucked up. I should stay with them. But like I started doing more drugs and shit because like no excuse. Like I just kept like partying all the time, I was still able to do my job, but like the shit progressed worse. One day I was driving, still back with the old company. I caught my first DUI. I was asleep at the wheel. I wasn't driving nowhere, but like this cop in town, one of the neighbors called it in. I was at Buddy's house. I got in my car about to go home, but I fell asleep. And like, somebody called it in. The cop came over, knocks on the window. They take me out the car and like they ended up charging me with some bullshit. Like I tried to fight it, but it's hard to win, And this cop really had it out for me. I used to work with him before he became a cop. We used to put fences up together and shit. So I thought it was cool with him. I went out with his sister 2 years ago, but whatever. So he must have had it out for me. So I got hit with a DUI. I went through all that shit, IDRC, fines, blah, 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 suspension, license, 7 months. But the job was cool. Like I was lucky too. The warehouse was right in town, so I was able to walk to work. I got rides. I left my tools at the warehouse. So I was still working, right? I was working there until I got my license back. Everything was cool. I was working. Then one day, I'm working. I'm on my way to a job. And that morning, I did some dope. I sniffed some bags, and I was nodding out. Stupid, real stupid of me. And I fell asleep at the wheel and like crashed into a utility pole, right across the street from a police station, Livingston. So I get out the car. No way, the car's not going nowhere. It's fucked up, dead center, right? I walk over to the police station. Instead of making the call, I'm like, yo, listen, I just crashed my car. You guys need to come out here, blah, blah, blah. They come over, they check it out, they do their report. They're about to let me go. I got my tool bag in my hand with the wheels, the rolling tool bag. I'm about to get, go to the job. Then they're like, nah, come over here. We have reason to believe you're under the influence. I was, but like I knew from my first DUI how to play him, So they handcuff me, they throw me in the cell. I blow in the machine, which nothing came out because I wasn't drinking, right? I was doing dope. And what's it called? They wanted some urine. I knew better than to give them some urine, so I told them I can't go to the bathroom right now, like nothing's coming out. So they gave me a cup of water. I look at the water, I smell it, I'm like, ugh, so I don't drink it, right? Then later, they bring me to the bathroom, like, go piss, I want to see you piss. So I go in front of the toilet, I start making some noises, like I'm trying to piss, but obviously I'm not going to give them no urine, I'm not stupid at this point. And they throw me back in the cell. I hear them talking outside the cell, like, oh, we don't have anything on this guy, blah, blah, blah. I guess whoever's in charge is like, yeah, fuck it, just charge him with DUI anyway. So I got charged, they released me. A buddy of mine, this guy from East Orange, I don't know, he's, they asked me questions about my tattoos. Like, am I gang affiliated? I'm like, nah. It's funny because in this town I live in, I'm like the only registered gang member, and I don't even know what gang I'm registered in. It's fucked up. But I had one of my buddies come pick me up. He's in the gang, I'm not gonna say whatever, but he picked me up, he gave me a ride out of there because I couldn't leave by myself. He dropped me off at a diner. So I'm sitting in this diner trying to figure out my plan. It was Father's Day weekend, I'll never forget it, because I was supposed to go to that job, leave that job, go to another job in Pennsylvania. And the whole point was, after I leave that job in Jersey, go to Pennsylvania, everybody was supposed to be in Pennsylvania for Father's Day weekend, so I couldn't even do that. So I was stuck in my house for the whole weekend doing shit. I was just getting high again, so I was so depressed. And, so I went to court for that one, but I didn't get charged with DUI. I gave them some bullshit story, like I was tired, so they gave me, like, reckless driving, so, I didn't get hit with my second DUI at that point. And, yeah. So I got out of that one. I got lucky with that one. But then later I'm, back working, back doing my thing. Then I ended up going to rehab out of the blue for no reason. But like there was a reason. I was still getting high all the time, So I go to rehab. I do well. I get through everything. I clean up. I finish it, whatever. They transfer me to another place. That place was crazy. I signed myself out. I was all these young kids like running around screaming and playing that crazy music. I couldn't listen to it. So I signed myself out. I ended up going to PA for a little while, get my head straight. Then I went back to work. I was clean for about 70 days until I relapsed. I was cleaning out my shit in the basement. I found a bag, I sniffed it, and that started the whole thing all over again. And while I was in rehab, I met this chick, right? My girlfriend. And, I got up before she did, so I was back working. She got out a little later, we met up. These other girls I was chilling with at the rehab, we were all cool. They called me one night. They're like, let's go to Six Flags. I'm like, I just got home from work. They're like, oh, Darissa's gonna be there. I'm like, all right, so I'll go. So we all go, but she's fucked up there. I'm like, God damn, like I wanted to chill with her. Like, she wasn't even on that level to talk. She couldn't go on rides and shit. She was throwing up. And I was like, fuck. But I really liked her. You know what I mean? So we ended up going out, and the next thing you know, we're like, we're a couple. We're going out, and but like. She was heavy into that shit, and then I started doing that shit with her, so that's what we would do. I would go to work, get out of work, go stay at her place, her parents' place. We get high all the time and go fuck whatever. But then later I'm like, yo, we gotta cut this shit out, because like, it's going in my pockets, this is affecting our health. She has her own case with probation, like she was facing 10 years. So little by little, we was getting ourselves right. Like we was weaning ourselves off, like she was looking for a job, I was doing better. Then later her father, right, he was exiting. Her father and mother went food shopping, grocery shopping. He was exiting out the car. He tripped, fell out the car, hit his head on the pavement, and like he ended up in a coma. So like they pulled the plug on him a couple days later, and he was gone. So she was all fucked up after that. You can't blame her. It's her dad. So she went back to doing that shit. I went to the funeral. She was all messed up. But I had work the next day. It was Monday, so I had to go to work. So I leave, Sunday. I get home. I'm going to sleep. And she calls me, but I'm already asleep. So I don't pick up the phone. And, what happened was she ended up getting in an argument with her mom. She ran out the house. She went to her sister's place. She stole, like, her phone, a bunch of money and shit. She took an Uber out to Rahway, pick up shit. And, like, when I finally, like, got to talk to her mom, like, she asked me, have you seen her? I'm like, nah, what happened? She told me. So I'm thinking like, you know, she does stuff like this from time to time. So I'm thinking like she probably just went on a binge. She'll probably be home later that night. So Monday night she don't come home, so I'm worried. I go down looking for her. I'm down Perth Amboy. I'm in Rahway looking for her, asking people. Nobody knows nothing, right? So Monday goes by, Tuesday goes by. I'm at work, you know, going on my schedule. Wednesday I got court. I'm in the court. I'm in the building with my lawyer, right? I'm public defender, talking about my second DUI. You know, there was one time like her and I got into an argument at her place, so I left. I didn't want to argue with her no more, so I went home. As soon as I got home, I started drinking. Then she texted me saying like, oh, I'm sorry, come back. So my dumbass, I get back in the car, start driving. I hit my neighbor's car. Before I could even get on the highway, I get stopped by cops, and they're like, oh, did you hit somebody tonight? I'm like, so I already knew what was going on. So that's my second DUI, you know? But so I was in court that Wednesday, and the phone in my pocket keeps ringing. I don't pick it up, so I'm with my lawyer in the court and shit. But then we get out the courtroom, we're in the hallway. My lawyer's talking to me. I was done telling my lawyer, like, you know, I'm with this chick, you know, with her father. The drugs are an issue, but we're both working on it. We're trying to get our place together. We're really, really trying hard. You know, I'm telling him how much I love her. But then the phone rings, so I finally answer it. You know, I want to see what's going on. One of her friends called me and like, yeah, like, they found Larissa. They found her body at the Perth Amboy. You know, she's gone. She passed away, overdose. And I'm like just standing there. My lawyer's still talking to me. He overheard someone passed away, and I'm holding the phone to my ear, and I'm just like, it's like a fucking like a nightmare, yo. Like I don't know what to do at this point, you know. So like I get off the phone. My lawyer asks what happened. I tell him. He's like, I'm sorry. Like he's just looking at me like, wow, like, you know. And so like I get out the court. I sit on this bench. And I just like break down. I start crying. So like I'm just picturing her like body, like she's by herself. Like she was. Her last moment, she was by herself. Like she had no, like she was all alone. Like that fucked me up, you know. She didn't have nobody. Like I could have been there. I should just pick up the phone, either went to her or have an Uber come pick her up, bring it to me. Like she could have still been alive. And everybody's telling me, don't beat yourself up about it. But like that shit fucked me up. I don't know what to think, you know. So, you know, and you know now like, you know. I'm still thinking about her every day. I don't know what to do. I got my own situation going on too. Like I finished the 48-hour IDRC. I have to go to this evaluation. I got to pay fines. I got to go community service. I got to do all this shit, not because of my second DUI. If I get caught for a third, it's mandatory. In Jersey, you do 180 days in county. You know, I can't afford it. I can't do that shit. I'm not scared of jail. Just I'm not like trying to waste my time in there. The thing I want to do in there, you know. So like I got all this shit going on. This year sucked, yo. I lost my girl. I lost my job. I had a buddy hang himself. I lost my dog at home. Everything's fucked up at home. I'm not trying to get in the way, cause problems at home, because my little brother's going to school in Baltimore. So my parents are doing everything they can to help him out. He set him up for school. So I'm staying out the way, trying to like, you know. And then they don't want me home if I keep doing this shit. I'm getting high every day. I'm fucking around too much. So I'm trying to find a halfway house or a program or something where I can get the help I need, because it's just a matter of time before I end up killing myself or hurting someone else. So I gotta find somewhere to go to soon and take care of all this shit, because I can't live like this no more, you know? So like, that's why I'm making this video at night. It's Wednesday night. It's like midnight or whatever. I'm making this video. I'm trying to like get my head straight. I have all these thoughts going on in my head. I don't know what to do with my life, you know? I need to get my shit together. Shit's not working out. I ended up like going through all my savings, through all my resources, all my shit. I practically have nothing left. You know, I thought about suicide. Like, you know, like I don't know what to do with myself now. Like, even when I go to get help, a lot of these places, they don't really help you. Like, they just put you in a bed, have you floating around. Like, it's up to you. But like, I need like, you know, I need to talk to people. I need like assistance. I need groups and stuff. So I don't know how I'm gonna go about doing it. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm all fucked up. You know what I mean? So like, I just want to get things right. I don't know what to do. I pray to God, you know. If there's someone out there that seeing this video and thinks they could help me, do something for me, or give me a chance somewhere, I really would appreciate it, because like I'm at the point where I don't know what to do. Maybe this is the last thing I ever do in my life before something, you know, my life, I don't know. But I need to figure out what it is. I'm still alive, you know. I overdosed 4 times last year, twice this year. She actually saved my life this year one time. I couldn't save her life, which got me all fucked up. But I'm still here, so there's got to be a reason why I'm still here. Maybe I have a better purpose. Maybe I'm supposed to do something. I don't know, but, you know, like these are the confessions of a spoon cooker. You know what I'm saying? This is the day-to-day life of a spoon cooker. You know, like I need to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do in my life, because like I'm not going nowhere doing what I'm currently been doing. Like, there's no fun in this. This shit sucks. This lifestyle sucks. There's no way to live. You know, like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like I was I was successful before. I was working. I was able to do a lot of things, but like these drugs fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the heroin. Like nowadays, not even heroin. Now these kids are going to fucking, you know, emergency rooms, and it's not even off the dope. It's like whatever the fucking they use for the cut. You know, like they going to hospitals off the cut. The cut's fucking them up. It's fentanyl, carfentanil, whatever. You know, like, but I don't know, yo. Like I need to get my situation. I need to figure out what it is I need to do. Because if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna end up dying. I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be 6 feet under, pushing up daisies, whatever. You know. This is no way to live, yo. I gotta change my life. I disgraced my family, disappointed my parents. Nobody likes me, nobody trusts me. I've wrecked so many cars. I paid the court so much money. I lost my girl. Everything's my fault, yo. I'm walking around carrying all this burden, all this guilt, all this shit. And I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know how to fix any of this. I don't know where to begin. But I gotta do something, because I still have it in me to make things right, you know? So I wanna do something about it, you know? God, help me. Please, God, help me. Give me a sign. Show me what to do. Show me where to go. Show me how to do this, because I don't know what to do no more. You know? Like, I have a good heart. Like, I always want to help people, but I can't help nobody until I help myself first. Maybe that's what I got to do. I got to take care of my situation, and then maybe I'll be a counselor for other people, help other people out. I don't know. You know, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the glory. I'm not in it for the fame. I don't care about none of that shit. I've had money, you know, 10 times already around. I've had jewelry. I've been to like, you know, a lot of clubs. You know, I had some of the baddest girls you could think of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've traveled places around the world. Like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to have a normal, quiet life where I'm not worried about this shit. I want to be sober. I want to be able to, like, know what I'm doing, and people look at me and, like, trust me, and, like, you know, I want to make things right with my family. I want my father to be happy. I want my mother to be happy. I want my brothers to talk to me again. I want to be the big brother. I want to be the good son, you know. I want to, you know, have a family too one day. I want to, you know, I miss my girl, but, like, you know, I don't know. I just wanted to share that, you know, like this has been Raphael. I'm an alcoholic and an addict, and I'm just hypodermically speaking. These are the confessions of a spoon cooker. I hope you enjoy my video, and if someone out there thinks they can help me with my situation, I would greatly appreciate that. Send me a comment, send me, you know, contact me somehow, let me know, because I'll do anything to help myself. I'll do anything. I'm ready. I'm tired of this life. I can't go on like this no more. You know, God bless everybody out there. You only got one life to live, so make it count. You know, you got to do what you never did to get to where you never had. Or you got to do what you never did to get what you never had. Or you got to do what you never did to go where you never been, you know? Like, pray for me. God bless y'all.